Hello, 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 Leo, Leo, Leo. Welcome back to another weekly reading. Happy to be with you. All of a sudden, my energy got really freaking happy and hyper. Okay, I've not been like that. Interesting. Look, look at this. Metamorphic grace. You're in a position where you're accepting life's changes with grace. And I would normally say, this is something they encourage you to do, but I feel like you're already doing that and you're not giving yourself credit for the fact that you're doing that. You've been going through a lot of changes here, and from sources perspective, this is literally you. Just picture, I don't have it with me. All right, well, this is not going to be pretty, but hold on, what was I doing? Never mind. It'll take a little too long. Because I know me, I'll get anal and detailed and want to fix it. All right. So you basically are in this position, Leo, where you have your current physical body. And I want you to pretend like you have a zipper at the top of your head and you're going to grab it and you're zipping it all the way down. You're taking that suit off. You're cleaning your new body off from all of the residue that was with your old body, and you're stepping into a completely new life. And the reason they're saying it like that is because you are not someone, Leo, who's changing just one area. You have got I'm hearing fractals, like fractals of areas all over your entire being has been reworked and revamped, which has caused you to have to think in a different way, move in a different way, feel in a different way, heal in a different way, process in a different way, and look at your life in a different way. And the reason that had to happen was because you were in this really small, tight box of a life, is what I'm hearing. Even though you may have had a lot of friends, I'm not saying anything like that. Like, you're somebody who hasn't gotten around a lot, not cultured, not having a lot of experience. And that's, for Leos, that's hard. Because Leos love to be social. You really do. Love to be center of attention. Well, you weren't being given center of attention the way that you deserved. And the way you're going to have it now is from a healthy perspective and not an egoic perspective. And that's a beautiful thing to do and be. You had this time, this incubator of time that you had to heal was more about reprogramming your mind to have success habits than it was to just like kind of let life happen to you. So in order for you to step into this life of abundance and possibly a leader or doing something where you're a manager or you have people under you, is what I'm hearing. You had to create that emotional essence, mental essence, and vibrational essence within your physical body first, in order for this second part of your life, this where you zip the suit down and you step into this new life. You needed that type of mental, emotional, and physical preparation in order to be successful at this new thing. So don't beat yourself up for all the changes you're going through. It's almost like you kind of get overwhelmed and go, oh God, not this too. There's so much to do. And you get so overwhelmed and you think that thought and you think there's so much to do and you just want to quit. And then you just decide to maybe either numb out or, veg out on the couch and watch TV, whatever it is. One thing at a time. And when you have that moment of, everything about me has to change. Everything around me has to change. There's so much to do. How am I ever going to catch up with this? Stop in that moment, and whatever you're feeling in that moment, like that moment, okay, that comes up. Is it coming up as frustration? Is it coming up as full-blown anger? Is it coming up as sadness and exasperation? Pay attention to, like, really start trying to pinpoint what emotion you are feeling instead of just saying, I don't feel good or I feel good. Or I'm pissed off or I'm happy. Like that's the only thing you have. They want you to name what you're feeling. So instead of in that moment thinking of all the things that you have to do, think in that moment, I am feeling this in this moment and it's really overwhelming. This is how I feel in this moment. It's really overwhelming. Don't focus on all the things you have to do. Focus on the feeling. And then you say, this feels really shitty. I don't like this feeling. I'm going to find a way to feel better. I want to feel better. Source, help me feel better. And whatever happens in that moment, maybe one of your kids walk by and drop something in front of your feet, and it's I'm just going to give this example because I like art. They drop a marker in front of you, and that could be like, okay, just pick that marker up and go sit down and start drawing or writing or whatever. Or you're having this like meltdown internally, and you see people like, I'm just giving an example, it doesn't mean this is happening. You go outside and you see kids, I'm just using kids because they're so easy. You see kids playing with the ball, and they're tossing ball back and forth or kicking a ball back and forth, and in that moment, joining those children to kick that ball is your best point of action. It is going to distract your mind from all of the weight of everything you got to do. It's going to help your emotional set point raise because you're going to distract yourself from feeling overwhelmed or frustrated or angry or, all of those things. And doing that, just taking that one little minute to distract yourself can reset your emotional set point. And then you can move on and move forward from there. So it's things that small that source is putting in front of you to help you that seems so small and insignificant. Now, if you're angry and your child drops something in front of you, you're probably going to say, will you pick that up so I don't trip over it, please? Instead of being like, you know what? I'm angry. I got so much to do. My son, my daughter seems to know, they're happy. They're doing this. Maybe I'll give this a try. Or go punch a pillow or air box, a shadow box. I said air box. Shadow box. That box, my light just flickered with the boxings. They really do. Like in that moment of anger, sit down into like a nice squat and then keep the core tight, go back and forth. Every punch, hook, uppercut, jab, do what you can think, kick. And if it feels better for you to hit something like a heavy bag or something, hit it. I just saw somebody hitting a bag of seed on a farm. Like, getting their frustration on a bag of seed. Okay, so that could be for someone here. So that's something to think about for you. All right. You're being guided by your purpose at this time. If you're not revisiting your life goals and values, this is the great time to do it. All right. Make sure that your choices are aligning with the purpose. So maybe you're somebody, how they say you live in the world, but you're not of the world. That's how Jesus was. So maybe, for example, I don't know, maybe you want to be a spiritual teacher. And to be a spiritual teacher and healer on the level that you want to be, it's going to require you to have a healthy body, a healthy mind, healthy emotions, very balanced. And that's something that you're working yourself into and leaving behind, toxic fast foods or substances that you ingest or, alcohol, cigarettes, marijuana, anything like that. Let's just say that. You know what your purpose is and you live in your purpose. Let's just say 65, maybe 70% of the time. But this other 30% is that you've gotten comfortable with it and you're trying to bring it along with you. And this is not the time to bring it along. This is the time to say, look at your choices in every situation. Is this going to help me grow or is this not going to help me grow? Is this going to take me towards my goal or away from my goal? Write it on your hand. I'm about to write it on my hand. Towards my goal or away from it. That way, when you're doing something, you can remind yourself every day, towards my goal or away from it. Just kind of just to get it started. Just to get it started. This isn't something you have to continually do. I mean, you will to a certain degree, but it gets much easier. And once the momentum picks up, you just ride the wave of momentum instead of trying to create it. There will be something else that you want, though, that you're going to have to create momentum for. So whatever it is that you're going through, there's more information that needs to be given to you in order for something to make sense. Ooh. Hold on now. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. You want more information. This came out in reverse. And I don't typically take these in reverse, but they're telling me to now. You want more information about something, and they're saying it's not the right time to know this information. Okay? This unlikely in reverse, it's a source is blocking this from you. It is highly, highly, highly unlikely that you're going to receive the information that you want right now, going about it the way that you are. There is something better, and what they want you to do, they want you to focus on this purpose, this alignment with your purpose, because there's something better that can happen. So while you're trying to and rectify a situation that you think needs to be rectified, source is saying, no, we want you to focus on this because this is better. And you don't need to know this right now. You don't need to know what happened here yet. One day you will, but right now it would be harmful for you to know this, not helpful. So, and they don't want you to keep beating a dead horse. They don't want you to keep trying to wait for this information or figure something out, watch more tarot readings trying to figure out what this information is. No, 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 no. For this particular spread, you do much better and you're more successful when you focus on your purpose. Because everything that you want, the answers to this will come as you focus on your purpose. Plus, you're going to be happier in a much better position financially and physically. Yeah. That when you are in a better position financially and physically, that is when you're going to receive whatever information that you need to, and by that point, I just heard by that point you won't even care. By that point, you won't even care about it because it's like, you know what? All this has happened, and now I thought I had to fix this thing over here. I thought I had to look at this. I made it. I made it my Goliath, and it shouldn't have been a Goliath all this time. I want to focus on this. Now you want to bring this back? I don't care about that shit anymore. Who cares? I don't want to talk about it. Bye. Whoop. Scoot it out of the way. That's what they're saying to me. Okay. Okay. Look at this. You focusing on that purpose and aligning, you have that 65%, 70% of you focused on this purpose. But this other 30% needs to go along with it. Remember how I was just talking about it in this spread? It needs to go along with it. So remember to do this for yourself. It is 523 on the numbers down here, and my brother's date of death is 325. So there's opportunity here, a lot of abundance here. What? Focus on. Okay, so there are 10 birds flying up here in this card. And then you have the crown. So what they're saying is, look at this as your spirit team, your spirit guide, your spiritual warriors, lovers, I forgot what I was going to warriors of love. That's what I was trying to say. They have seen this from the very beginning. They've known about this new opportunity from the very beginning. They have been leading you to this new beginning. They've known about it from the very jump. As soon as they shot back to pure positive energy ancestors, they knew about it. Ancestors that you have never even met know about this beginning for you. You have ancestors that you can't even begin to know them or their name or anything of that nature. And they know your story so closely and intimately and have been intricately weaved into this life of yours because you are helping them as well. And they have found nothing but pure pleasure and joy in the entire experience that you've been through. So while you get upset and you feel all these negative emotions trying to heal and get to this prosperity and this independence and this happiness, abundance, freedom, they've been over here feeling that shit all along. Yeah. They've been giving you bit by bit by bit. You've got a beautiful offer, a new beginning that's going to have you extremely stable. My light just flickered. You're going to be very stable. Stable to a point where it's going to be a good idea that you're going to have somebody around you who speaks and exudes so much abundance with their energy and their words, that when you get all of this and you have that split second moment of like, oh man, what's going to happen to this? Like, how am I going to, keep this going? How am I going to, keep this going? You're going to have somebody around you who's a master teacher when it comes to vibration, when it comes to manifestation, law of attraction. You are going to have some energy around you in some form or fashion, whether it's through, you texting with them or whatever. I don't know how, but you pick up on like, oh, that's how you do it. When this happens in your day, this is how you handle it. You say that, oh my goodness, I didn't know that. And then you start implementing these strategies that person has, and your life just like whoop, skyrockets. Like it just shoots through the stratosphere, baby. I'm telling you, you've got a lot of wonderful things coming your way here, Leo. I'm so happy for you. This is my rise. Ooh, what is this tower about? Oof, oof, ooh. This offer that leaves you completely blissed out and stable and happy is the wake-up call. Is the wake-up call for someone else. It triggers their healing. This is their spiritual awakening. Look, I got 2 notifications here. Look, 2 notifications. And this says uproot cleaned. So what's happening as you are being rooted in your new beginning, someone else's life is being upended, uprooted into a spiritual awakening. They are triggered hard freaking core. You know what I just experienced? This individual witnesses this new beginning for you. Your happiness and confidence is so strong and so big in the environment that you're in when you're near them. It is freaking palpable. They can literally touch the air around you and feel it, is what is the energy that they're giving me. And that literally shocks them to the point, it's almost like they fall to their knees. Like, what the? If they don't physically fall to their knees, their heart feels like it's sinking to the ground. Like, oh my God, you were right all along. And guess what? This individual, they have all their ancestors doing the same thing for them that your ancestors did for you. So while your manifestation may be the wake-up call for this person because you chose, you guys had that agreement to come here, they are very strong in their energy as well. They really are. They're a powerful being. But you are going to be the thing that stirs that up for them, okay? Look at this. I love this card so much because when you look at this 7 of Pentacles, and it came out in your energy, so when you look at this 7 of Pentacles, can you even see a difference between the 7 and the 9 in this deck? Really? Look at this. Look at it. They both look like the 9s. So you have been abundant in many ways that maybe you haven't recognized right now, but you're going to recognize it. And what they're saying is you've already received some of this abundance. And this abundance could have come in like in the form of easier times, things kind of just, starting to smooth themselves out. Yeah, that's the abundance. Because you've been putting in that work, you've been smoothing things out all along. It's gotten easier. It took such a long time that you kept thinking, God, is this ever going to end? It's like the never ending string. You keep pulling, you keep pulling, you keep pulling, and it never ends. And that's what it feels like in the traditional 7 of Pentacles. He's holding the fork up, looking at it kind of forlornly, like, man, I'm tired. But here, it's like Source made sure that you had little wins along the way. And all of those little wins you're going to be reminded of all those little wins fairly soon. And realize that you've been protected this entire time. I love it. Is there any card you want for this individual over here? Ooh, yes. Oh. So your spiritual awakening happened just like this. So once you were once in this energy, could have been with the Sagittarius, it doesn't have to be. But what I'm getting here, you were once in this energy. You just started this before them. Whoever this is, they're going to catch right up to you. And while you had this awful tower moment and you went through this period of healing, what happened in you doing this is you found your voice. But you didn't just find your voice, you found your heart. You found your passion. You found your creativity. You found your peace. You found your blessings. You found your priorities. And it was way different than what you thought they were in the first part, you know, in the past. It's very different. So just know that whatever happens here, whatever energy this person's in when this happens, they ultimately end up in this energy the same as you. They end up with the same understandings, the same knowledge, the same heart-based desires. And I feel it kind of feels like twin flame. It really, it does. Yeah. So it's like you created the plans. If this is twin flame, you've created the plans, feminine. I'm getting feminine. You've created these plans. You've expanded. You're ready to go on this journey. And it's tapping I'm feeling a strong vibration right here where I'm getting, it's twin flame. You're going to marry this person. You're going to marry this person. They're just starting out though. Like it feels like they've already had things brewing, but the things they've had brewing are inundated thoughts of you, dreams, hearing songs, seeing things, being reminded by other people that remind you of them. But they have been able to kind of like push it down. It's been hard to keep it under the surface. I'm shaking, but I've been able to do it. Well, damn it. Here comes this. And that hand that's like holding down all this pressure, trying to keep keep the fight going. This happens and they crumble. They just crumble because they realized that they could have been doing this with you all along. So at this point, they're going to think they completely lost you. They're going to panic. They are going to panic big time. They're going to have a lot of unsavory words to say and then regret those words later. And they may have some unsavory actions that they do, something that they do that's unsavory, but then they're feeling guilty about it later on. So expect this person to have a lot of knee-jerk reactions. I heard the same way you did going through a healing phase. Expect them to have that, like angry outbursts and calls, or pleading with you, or just showing up at your house, or things like that. Expect them to go through their healing process, and when they do, it may be annoying, but they want you to show grace to this person. They want you to show compassion. Don't lower your don't lower your standards. Okay, have your strong boundaries in place, but don't be rude. Be receptive. They need this type of nurturing. You're going to be the living human example for them to be able to navigate this connection that you navigated with Source. And their ancestors are going to be, look at this, their ancestors know. You've got the nun who's praying, and then you've got all these jewels that they're smiling and they're ready to hand them on you. They know that you're birthing this new life. They're going to be extremely connected to this person. So just know that this person's going to work through things the same way you did. And although it's taken a long time for you, and you may have forgotten some ways that you behaved because a lot of time has passed, you're going to be reminded when this person does it. And some of it's going to make you laugh. It's going to be comical because you're going to see them doing something like, damn. And then you're going to be reminded of a time and how you reacted, and you're going to chuckle. Just keep the chuckles to yourself. Don't chuckle around this person because they are going to be very vulnerable, sensitive, and fragile. Like literally, like you could just poke them and they're going to shatter. All right? So just know this is going to be a beautiful connection. Look at this. They turn into an emperor. Look, they're going to try to off. They are going to be mourning the fact that they didn't accept your offer. They are going to be mourning hardcore the regret, the level of regret this person feels for not accepting your love. Because I feel like this was you, feminine. Like, this is how you felt. Like, it was just over. You couldn't do it. They weren't accepting you anymore. And they weren't supposed to, because it had to spur your spiritual awakening. Well, now they're going to be the ones feeling that too. They want me to keep going. Yeah, they're going to go into high drive action mode. All right. It's like, as soon as this happens, full on crazy action is going to happen. And what's going to happen is they're going to action themselves to death and end up burning out and having another emotional outburst. Like, damn, this normally works for me. Normally, I just work hard. If I'm working hard, I work harder. If I work harder, I work harder. And I can beat something into place. I can force this into place. I know I can. Well, the thing they're going to try to force into place is the relationship with you. So expect to get love bombed. Expect for them to just show up with gifts. Expect them to start trying to pour their heart out to you, out of panic. You're going to have to help them slow their roll by saying, I understand what you're feeling. I went through this too. And like, being able to have those intimate conversations with them, it's going to be very helpful to this person, this masculine, but it's also going to hurt. You know why? When you are sensitive and receptive and you kind of guide them in conversations that they have with you, when you guide them with love and compassion, they are going to remember, and they're giving you something they're going through. You're telling them you understand it, and you're relating to them and telling them what you went through and how you handled it, and giving them advice, and maybe making them feel better, giving them positive reinforcement here. When you do that, they're going to remember how they treated you when you were in the same position that they are now in. And that is going to crush them. And that is something that's going to take a little bit of time for them to confess to you. Because the level of regret and intense, like, powerlessness that they are going to feel, being reminded of you being in that position and how they treated you versus how you're treating them in that position, they're going to realize you were the one that they have been praying for all along. You are the one that they've been wanting on their side all along. And they didn't recognize it. They sabotaged it because you came in a very different package than they are accustomed to. I heard this person had a fast and loose lifestyle, very popular, knows a lot of people. Yeah. So with this, you see how this came out sideways? This is kind of a warning for you. This is a warning for you. They don't want you just giving to this connection. They have got to figure out how to manipulate their emotions in a healthy way. And when I say manipulate, because I feel like this person is very manipulative, and they will play on your heartstrings, especially if you're a twin flame. They will play on your heartstrings. They will tell you, give you a sob story, and, your heart, being compassionate, may want to go out to them and just like fill up their damn bank account for them over and over and over. Don't do that. There will be times where you help them out, but the best way to help them is by letting them go through this grow through phase, this phase of their life, so that they can do it for themselves. You can be the example. You can leave the door open and move forward. You can cheer them on. But you being the receptacle for their physical manifestations to help them through this journey cannot happen. It cannot happen. They need to do this inner work. They need to rebuild themselves on the inside so that they can start working on their new skills and master these skills on the outside. Because here, they're giving me two different things. So here, he's hard worker, chopping wood. That's it's a labor of love, right? It is something that you're doing that to put it in your fireplace. Let's just say this is hard work, but without a lot of payoff. Yes, it may heat your house, but you're going to have to constantly keep doing it. This type of work that they're going from this hard labor work to this masterful, skilled type of work that's going to make them money, that's going to bring in their abundance. So what they want you to know, They're working on their thing. You're working on your thing. But the equal give and take is kind of at a standstill at this point. They don't want you physically being involved with this person for, I feel like once this physical manifestation comes in, that Ace of Pentacles, look, the Eight of Pentacles there. I was thinking that was the Eight of Pentacles. I should have read that. I apologize. So, Three of Pentacles. In order for them to get with, this is what you're going to do. In order for them to get to you, in order for them to be able to do what you do and you be able to help them and benefit them physically, they have to put in the actual work to meet you here in this collaboration. Yeah. They had, and look, there's the freaking Two of Cups. Yeah, and the King of Cups there. So now you have the King and the Queen of Cups that were in this reading. There's your match. They are going to work very hard to heal and grow and give back to this connection so that they can collaborate with you. That is how, it's like Source is using that, you know, as bait. All right? Source is using this collaboration as bait. Because once they start doing the work in their spiritual awakening, there is no going back. There's no, you can't unlearn, you can't unsee and unfeel what you've seen and felt in a spiritual awakening. You just can't do it. I've tried. So allow them, if they come at you like gangbusters, putting in a lot of action, trying to be present, being in your face, be there, and it's like they want to give to you so that you give back to them because they're still in that energy. You can tell them, like, I'll keep the door open, but right now I'm going to keep doing me. I've got some collaborations of my own that I'm working on right now. If you want to join us at some point, continue, just learn from me, do the spiritual work, do the emotional work, and then you can join us there. That's what you're going to say to them. Then you can join us there. You can let them know you are capable of this. You are more than capable of this. But you have to be able to do this on your own. This is a part of the journey that nobody can do for you. Excuse me, I am so sorry. That came out of nowhere. There you go. Having a hard time communicating. Maybe you had a hard time communicating because this was the message you're going to give them. You giving them a goal, something to focus on, something to look forward to about being able to work with you and collaborate and do the things you're doing because they saw that Ace of Pentacles and they saw the Nine of Pentacles and then now the Ten of Cups that you're living, right? They're going to be the ones coming back in with the offer this time. Seriously. There will be no more trying to siphon and steal. There will be no more giving too much to one person or somebody taking. There will be no more of that. It will be equal. It will be beautiful. And both of you will be so... I'm seeing a couple and all I see are not fully naked bodies, like bathing suits on a beach. And it's like two glasses clinking and then the ocean coming in. And both of you looking at each other like, damn, we're happy we did this. Like every time, it's almost like when you two do come into union, there's going to be a time like you guys will go through something and you're going to look at each other and there's just going to be like this inside joke between both of you. And there's a phrase that's at some point, there's a phrase that one of you says about, no, we were idiots. We should have done this years ago. But I don't know what it is, but both of you fall to the ground laughing and it becomes like this fond memory between you two. And so every time something comes up that is like new and exciting, you both look at each other and you remember that memory and you say that to each other in your mind. And you both just start laughing like, dude, what were we doing? So it ends on a very beautiful, positive note. Nothing bad is going to happen to you in the process of anything. It's just going to be like them trying to, they're going to have their knee-jerk reactions, but you're safe. You're not going to get hurt in that. They are. All right. I love you very much. And the way they get hurt, it's not like diabolical or anything. It's just they realize they shot themselves in the foot. Like, damn it, I did this and this happened. Shit. Because what once worked for them is not going to work now the same way it hasn't worked for you. All right. I'm sorry this was on the longer side, but just a lot to say. I love you, Leo. I'll see you in the next one. Peace and love.